Good afternoon and welcome to day 3 of Blockchain Community Day 2025. Today is all about security, privacy, and governance, essential pillars for building a trustworthy and resilient Web3 ecosystem. And before we go to the first speaker to open the day, don't forget to join our live quests and quizzes. Participate for a chance to win Netflix subscriptions, Spotify Premium, Amazon gift cards, and many more. We already have a happy winner in the chat, so go to our Telegram channel and check it out. Also, keep an eye out for the hidden secret words in the presentation slides at day 1 and day 2. Be the first one to find them and claim your prize. All right, to kick off today's session, please welcome Alexander Seleznev, CEO of Pessimistic, a leading DeFi security firm based in Dubai. His talk, DeFi Security from the User Perspective, goes beyond smart contract audits to highlight human-centered risks in decentralized finance. Hello, Alexander. You're a good friend of ours. People know you here.
Hi, Farouk. Thank you for inviting me to open the third day of Blockchain Community Day. It's a pleasure for me. Thank you, everyone who is watching this call, who is watching this talk. And yes, the title of my today's talk is DeFi Security from the User Perspective. Let's start. Let's start with who am I and why you should even listen to my opinion on blockchain security. First, I have been working in Web3 security starting from 2017. It's been almost 8 years. And we started with Web3 security even before the word Web3 even existed. I am CEO of Pessimistic Security. It's one of the first security teams in Web3, and we have many billions of assets secured by our audits. And I'm a host of Basic Block Radio. It's the main technical podcast about blockchain in Russian language. And I suppose that some of you who knows Russian may be already familiar with the sound of my voice. And what is most important is that I store my own crypto in the protocols that we have audited. So I have skin in the game. I am highly interested in the security of the ecosystem. And what I want to talk about today is about my recent experience and my recent thoughts about the unsolved conflicts in Web3 security industry and how we can fix it. And I have the name of this problem on the very first slide, and the name is Audit as a Marketing. Let's start with the graph with the chart from DeFi Llama. And on the left side, you can see the TVL in DeFi ecosystem changing over the years. And on the right side, you can see the amount of losses in DeFi ecosystem due to hacks, due to bugs, due to rug pulls, to all the problems related to smart contracts. And you can see with the bare eye that the number of the losses is closely correlated. It follows the TVL in DeFi in this year. So you can see that the losses in DeFi ecosystem are several percents from the total TVM in the ecosystem of this year. It's huge amount. It's insane amount. And knowing this, we understand that security is really important in Web3, and that every person who wants to receive a high return from investing into DeFi faces high risks in DeFi, and every person wants to minimize those risks. So and every person perceives the security as a really important part of the investment. So here we come to the conflict of interests of security auditing companies. So first, auditors are paid by the protocol teams. Second, audit report is perceived as a marketing document. It influences how much TVL people will bring into the protocol in the end. Third, of course, the protocol team needs good-looking marketing documents. And hence, the auditors face the immediate conflict of interest. On the one side, they need to highlight as many risks as they can. On the second side, they if they are too good in perceiving this goal, then their customers might be not very happy with what they see in the report. So typical customer requests I've been facing over these 8 years I've been working in Web3 security is, please lower the severity of this or that issue. Especially this is correct for the centralization issues with privileged roles of the admin. Second is, please remove this or that issue from the report. Especially this is true for the fixed issues. Please don't publish the report at all, because you have found 10 critical issues, and we'd better have this report unpublished and go to another audit company after we fix all the issues, and they will prepare another report that would be much more good looking after we have this clean code that we sent them after your report. And the last one is, please add a big, always fixed, do not read further note somewhere in the beginning of the report. So the potential reader will face this note, always fixed, and will say, okay, I'm good. I will send money to this protocol. So all this reminds me on the picture I saw on the internet. So I decided to put it in my presentation. And even though audit is perceived as a part of marketing, audit is bad marketing. It's very hard to read by the common audience. It's very because it's intended to be read by the developers. So because of that, it needs an additional interpretation in social media from the projects team. And even the auditors themselves have to be, kind of over optimistic in their social media communication. As an example, here is one of the latest tweets from the account of my company. So you can see that we say, ensuring the highest level of protection for users remains our commitment. Of course it does, but why should we state it in every tweet? So our big dream, is that auditors are paid by the investors or liquidity providers, or audit reports never get published because of this conflict of interest. And the second one, we want to perceive audit report as a neutral due diligence document, not as a marketing material. But unfortunately, although we would like to be paid by investors, the investors and LPs do not have enough money to fund full-scale audits. Let me after we set the stage for the problem, let me go to our recent experience that gave me a hope that maybe one day we will see the solution to this problem. So let's start the chapter audits for users. Recently we came up with an idea. What about making a cheap, lean one-pager report using the publicly available data and the technical expertise of an auditor, and have this report funded by the potential investor? It would be way cheaper, it would be very quick to make, and it could highlight the risks that potentially could evade the eye of an investor. So the approach that we took with these user audits, I will call it like that. Let's call it user audit. Is first we analyze the processes, the development processes. behind the protocol, because they can be seen public, and anyone can analyze whether team indicate have public shows public signals of having good processes. Second, a really quick code review, like only 1 day of auditor's time. Third, a meta-analysis of the audit reports that the protocol had previously before asking for the investment. And fourth, we underline the red flags that we have found and gather them in the easy-to-read one-pager that we send to the potential investor. I will go over all four of this, all four parts of our approach in the next slides. So first, let's start with the analysis of the development processes. I want to make a big shout out to DeFi Safety, because we used their methodology and documentation as a cheat sheet for this part of our reports. Thank you, guys. You have done a great job. It's fantastic. So the philosophy behind this approach is that since the security of smart contracts in blockchain is as crucial as security in aviation engineering, why not borrow the approach from the aviation engineering? And in aviation engineering, we pay a lot of attention not only to the resulting product, but to the processes that lead to the resulting product. So, for example, we can see. I will give you some screenshots from the documentation of DeFi Safety. We can analyze several. I will show you several chapters from their questionnaire that you can go that researcher can go through to estimate the quality of the processes of specific protocol. So in the part that is called code and team, you can see the questions like, are the smart contracts addresses easy to find? Does the protocol have a public software repository? Is the team public? How responsive are the devs, etc., etc. Second is, in the chapter code documentation, you can see questions like, is there white paper? Is the protocol software architecture documented? Etc., etc. So the general question that we're trying to answer here is the code documentation okay? Third chapter is testing. Has the protocol tested their deployed code? How covered is the protocol code? Etc., etc. And they have several more chapters, but I think you can get the idea already. So we try to see whether team does a good job at setting up the processes that lead to secure code. Next part of our approach is a really quick code review, where we estimate the code quality, code complexity, of course, test coverage. We pay specific attention to privileged roles and their powers, because it's something that can be done very quickly and is very crucial for the security. Other proper multisigs. We pay attention to any specific risks outlined by our customer and anything suspicious that we find. So it's a really quick code review, like / quick audit. Third part is the meta audit. So we check the audits that have been performed over the code of the protocol that we analyze, and we check like some meta things like the auditors tiers, the number of audits, the number of auditors in every team, because sometimes you can see a team of one, and sometimes you can see a team of 6 people in the same company making the audits on behalf of the same company. And was there new commits after the audits? I mean, whether the audit report is already deprecated. The overlap of the audits in time and code, it can give you some hints on what to look at. And was all code in the scope audited? Because sometimes the audit scope is only some small part of the code. And we analyze the findings from these audit reports. We analyze whether the findings overlap, and because it gives you a hint of whether the audit was easy to do. Because if audit is easy to do, so both audit companies probably will find the same bugs. Second, we analyze the number of dumb bugs because it shows whether the team was in rush during the development. We analyze the number of really bad critical findings. We analyze the quality of the integrations, and this is really also very important because if the integrations are done badly, if there are bugs in the integrations, it also shows that the development was rushed and the development team didn't have enough time to go through the documentation of the protocol they want to integrate to. And the five is we pay attention to the number of really hard to find findings because it shows you the quality of the audit, the expertise of the audit team that performed the audit. And to show you the real life example, I will share a part of this small report that we did for our partner and big friend CP0X. It's one of the biggest liquidity providers, and we offered them to make an audit for one of the upcoming liquidity providing deals that they had a couple of months ago. And I will show you, how the findings look like. First, code quality summary. I would say that this text can be summarized as it's more or less okay. There are some issues, but okay, it's more or less okay. What is more interesting is some red flags that we underlined in this report. First is red flag with overpowered roles, because some roles can mint and burn an arbitrary amount of tokens for any account and at any time. The owner of the proxy can change or add any functionality at any moment and subsequently execute virtually any action with the following transaction. And this is a massive overpowered role. And yes, and we outline this in the report. So this is not okay. More red flags. Okay, so let's start with the second one. The deployed code doesn't match with the code in the public repository. And third, it's impossible to determine how the deployed code and the code in the public repository correspond to the audited code in the private repository, and whether there were changes made after the audit. So it's impossible to understand what was audited, what is public, what is deployed for this specific protocol that we reviewed for our partner. So what would happen if we write this in the audit report for the audit that Okay, let's start from the beginning. What would happen if the protocol team paid us for this report? I would say that probably they would say, please delay it. This is not an issue. Let us add the comment to the issue, to the report. This is not a medium severity. Please lower the severity. All the old stuff. But in this case, the audit team responded with the following message. Thanks for sharing the quick audit report. This is a really good step in keeping protocols accountable and something we also welcome. We are going to discuss first thing in morning on solution to points raised by you and your audit group and come up with the clear actionable items and timeline for the implementation. You can see the difference. And what is more important is that the protocol team really did come up with the clear actionable items. They made the code public. They updated the code base, and performed several audits on this code base and made very transparent the relation between the published, deployed, and audited code base. And second, they set up clear, transparent multi-signature wallets and implemented delays for all the overpowered functions. So they did a good job in making their protocol more secure. And thanks to a big shout out for this anonymous team. So I instantly remembered about the meme with Drake. So Drake doesn't like issue found by auditor, but Drake likes issue found by liquidity provider. And this difference is not because the teams are evil or lazy. They have a lot of job to be done. We just sent the team the clear signal that the real security is top priority for the real investors, for the real liquidity providers. We made the security issues transparent and understandable for liquidity providers and the team itself. And we made the dialogue between them on security possible. And this resulted in very good security in the end. Some final thoughts. So we see that this kind of short, lean user audits might significantly improve the security standards in Web3 in case people adopt this kind of practice. So if you're interested, let's talk, and please ask your questions. Thank you for the attention.
All right. Thank you, Alex, for the great presentation. And we've got plenty of questions here. Now, there goes one from Orhan. Can you read it, or you want me to read it out loud for you?
Oh, Faruk, I didn't hear you, but I see that probably you want me to answer the question from Orhan. Okay, right. Arhan asks, you highlighted security as critical, yet losses persist. True. Beyond audits, what's the one change needed to make DeFi protocols inherently safer? As I said, there are many unsolved problems, and I would say that we're making a good job in making Web3 a better, more secure place. I would say that average quality of the code we see is much better than, let's say, 5 years ago. And more and more security tools are being developed, and it's really cool what teams who are experimenting with AI several really cool tools to find the critical bugs, and we already use them. And about that's one change. I think it's not one change. It's it's a big road ahead. They're doing a great job in in improving the security, because both protocol teams are better and better every day, every year, and the auditing teams and security product teams are better and better every day. And one of the things that could make the Web3 space more secure is something that I proposed in this presentation, some kind of user audits, because this could help to make the communication more transparent, both for protocol teams and potential liquidity providers, potential crypto investors. A question from Ilya. If even auditors admit their reports need interpretation, are we just paying for a false sense of security? I would not say it. I would not place it like that. I would just say that auditors expect their readers to be the protocol teams, to be the protocol developers. And the audit reports are not intended to be read by general public, because during the audit reports we want to talk to someone who can actually identify and fix the issue. So we are and the security is not something that can be measured on the grade from 0 to 100. It's, it has many dimensions, I would say. So I would say that this question is much more complicated. So I would not say that we are just paying for a false sense of security. It's just that the reader of the audit reports is intended to be a technical person, not a general audience.
Sorry, Alex, you know that audits are like hard to read, but shouldn't like the clarity be a core deliverable for audits? Because
Yes, of course.
and also
Yes,
maybe for the auditors here watching us, what's one change that they could make to, tomorrow, to improve this situation here?
In our company, we spent really a lot of time polishing the wording that we present in our reports. But I will say it again. We want to talk to the developers. We are not marketers. An audit report is not a marketing material. It should not be published. I think the auditing company Trail of Beats. They are really old and hardcore, and we know them, and we have friends among them, and they say that audit reports must not be published because general audience must not read it, because they would because if the audit team makes a good job and finds a lot of vulnerabilities, then the audience might have a sense that, oh, there are a lot of vulnerabilities in this code, no, I should not invest in it. So the interpretation is beyond the responsibility of the auditor. And this is why I say that probably it would be better if the liquidity provider pays to us, then we make a report for the liquidity provider, and we make it clear for liquidity provider to understand the specific risks that the liquidity provider might face in the protocol. So we're not interested in describing the details of every risks, because this is not something that he or she is interested in. We're interested in just raising the red flags, where he or she can lose money. This
Right,
is another. This is yes.
So it's important for you to have this red line, right? To control the ethical tensions in audit culture.
It depends on who pays, because if the developer pays to us, we want to perform a service for the developer. We want to talk to him, and if the liquidity provider pays to us, we want to highlight the risk relevance that is relevant to liquidity provider.
Okay, I think we can take this last question here, Alex.
Privileged roles like admin can rug a project instantly. Why do teams still insist on these backdoors, and should audits outright fail projects that use them? I'm not sure I understood the last part of the question, but I would say that the team insists on these backdoors because on the first stages of the protocol lifecycle, it is almost impossible to achieve the true decentralization, like with DAI stablecoin, or with LUSD, or with any other truly decentralized protocol, because when the DeFi protocol is young, it might need some kind of minor updates. It might need some integrations. It might need anything. And also, it's good to have kind of flexibility on the first stages of the life cycle, and before the protocol gains momentum, before the protocol gains high value locked, and before the protocol have enough attention to set up the DAO that could manage the protocol. So I would say that it's okay to have some kind of centralization on the first stages of the protocol's life cycle, but the risks that are connected with these but the risks that are connected with these centralization could be minimized with using proper multi-signature wallets, with using time delays, etc., etc.
Okay, so you're saying that admin keys are risky, but I mean, should audits say no to them? Or I think what's being asked here is, why do projects still use the admin keys that can steal funds, and should the auditors reject them for being unsafe?
Any reputable auditing company highlights any centralization, any privileged admin role as at least medium severity issue. So it's always outlined in the audit reports.
All right. Thank you, Alex. This was the last question for today. And yeah, thank you so much for being with us today. Thank you for your insightful dive into DeFi security with us and focus on real users. Your presentation was very engaging, full of memes, very fun. Thank you. I appreciate this.
Thank you for it.
You have a great one, Alex.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Have a great day.